Greetings, this is Eduardo Jumbo. In this live stream, we're going to talk about creating a cheap security camera. So a little background. I'm raising chickens, and because I also work from home, or from the homestead, if you will, I need to be able to monitor them when I'm not physically there. For example, when I'm working, let's say I work from 9 to 5. So I want to basically let them out so they can roam on the pasture, free range, do whatever they want, pick their natural food. But I can't work outside for various reasons. It could be raining, it could be cold, it could be maybe too hot. So when I'm inside, for example, working, I want to be able to monitor them. Now, so I've looked into this. I bought even a sensor. The problem with the sensor is that on the product page, it claimed that it worked between minus 40 degrees Celsius and plus 80 degrees Celsius. So I bought it. And once I received it, the problem was that it had these specifications, or that it worked between minus 2 degrees Celsius and I think it was 40 degrees Celsius. So I explained to you what the problem was. So I am in Canada, Southern Ontario. So typically it gets around minus 15 degrees Celsius, which is about, with the windshield, sometimes minus 20, minus 30. Okay, so meaning that minus 2 is not going to work. And the problem with the plus 40 degrees Celsius is that in summer sometimes it gets up to about 35 degrees. Now that is before the humidity, and clearly when it's about 35 degrees it's going to feel warmer because you have the humidity and the sun is bouncing off the ground, so it's going to feel, or it will be warmer than 40 degrees. So the sensor will still be used sometimes, but the thing I liked about it came with some solar, so it'd be powered by itself, but I said it's useless. So right now I came up with an idea of saying, hey, why don't I pick one of my old phones and use it as a webcam, so I could charge it maybe once a day or once a week, depending. And then for this particular purpose, I don't need anything fancy. Like I don't need the sensors. All I need is just the camera. So it could be I will point it towards the hoop coop, and then what will happen is I can view it on my workstation. So that's basically what I've decided to do. So what I did was I looked around, and there were some apps already. For example, in the Android store, there were some apps. Even on F-Droid, there were some apps. The problem, the ones on F-Droid, they're so old, they didn't work. They're like from some 14 to 12 years ago, so they didn't work because obviously I don't know if the security issues or maybe some of those, the way it was coded, demo libraries are not available anymore. So that was a problem. Now on the Android store, there were some apps which I checked, they were recently updated and people had good things to say about them. So the problem, I didn't want to use those ones was because they were some of them came with ads. I have no problem with that, and some of them were paid apps. So the problem, I didn't want to use those was because number one is I don't intend for this application to be on the web, on the internet. It doesn't need internet. It's just locally. That's all I need it for right now. Now in the future, I might use it, and all you yourself who's watching this, maybe you can use it and to add more features. Like maybe it only turns on if there's a sensor, meaning that you have a map of where you want, and then maybe just outside that area or different spots, if there's something moving there, then the sensor could come on and then it starts recording, taking pictures. So another thing I decided to do is I don't need it to take video. I just need to take pictures. I haven't set up yet, so I tried 1 second. That was too fast. Then I went to 3 seconds. 3 seconds I think is still too fast because of the way JavaScript works. I think I might tweak it to 5 seconds. I'll let you know later when we do it. So what I want to do today is just get it started and get it working. So I'm going to test it in on a desktop computer, so my workstation. So it's going to use the webcam. It's a external webcam, but that should work fine. And then obviously it will work also on a phone, and I've tested this for a prior client, but this is for my own use. So that's basically the concept here. So you can follow along. All you need is a device that has a camera. So it could be, as I said, it could be an old phone, whether it's an iPhone, an Android, or something, or Linux phone, doesn't really matter. It could be a tablet, or it could be a notepad, or even, it could even be a fully fledged computer. Although I wouldn't recommend that, because it will probably use too much power. And I said the purpose of this is just to record. So even if you have maybe an IP camera allows you to program it, that'll work too. So all we need is just it to send pictures or a video through your LAN, which is a local area network, and then you can start, you can view it. Okay, so just to let you know that I'm live right now on Rumble. So if you go to Rumble, if you want to ask me any questions where we're doing this, you can. I'm available for live chat, and I can reply to you. If you have any requests, I can do that as well. So as I was saying here, is so in my particular case, obviously phones usually come with a Wi-Fi. So that's what I'm going to be using, Wi-Fi, wireless connection. And obviously I'll be taking advantage of this one, WLAN, which is the wireless local computer network. So basically it'll be hooked up from the device itself to my workstation. That's all I care about. Now, right now, I do have the first Apple iPhone generation of SE, and it's running. It was updated. I think it's the latest version of iOS 15 and Safari 18.3. So I did test this. This does work, and I also put this here. So it's able to take photos and use it. You can use the front and back camera, and obviously the power usage. It's 10 watts for charging. So I mean, if your phones are very old where they don't hold charge, obviously you can charge it. It should be 10 watts, which will not cost that much. And this is not intended to run 24/7. It's only intended to run, I said, when I can't physically be there watching them. So just doing when I'm working. So for example, when I go check up on them, obviously I can switch it off or I can charge it in that case. And another phone I do have is the Sony Xperia XA1 Ultra. This one was updated to the 8.0 and has the latest web browser. So I think on this one I installed the Brave browser, the Firefox browser, and obviously it comes with the Chrome browser as well. So all of them updated to the latest one. And then of course it also takes photos and videos on the front and back cameras. So I haven't tested this, but I'm going to assume that, so most likely what I would do, because we're now very close to being spring, most likely we'll be taking photos from the back camera. That way, you know, if it gets really, really hot, the sun doesn't heat it up, because it will be even though it will be inside in a window, it will probably heat up, so that won't be good. But I'm saying is I'll mount it. I'll show you our experiment where to be mounted. Maybe be mounted more outside the shade or something like that. As I said, this is just an experiment, and hopefully it works well. And again, yeah, this one does use USB Type-C 2.0, and it's 10 watt charging as well, so very low power usage. Okay, so basically what we're going to do today is we're going to create an HTML page, and it'll just be HTML and JavaScript. The HTML is very simple, just be the video element, and the JavaScript is the one which will control it. Obviously, for example, we ask for permissions, as you can see in this screenshot here. We ask permission to use the camera, and then if you have multiple cameras, like most of the modern mobile devices do, you can request which one you want to use. So I said when I tested on the phone, I'll be using the back camera. Okay, and then And you can see I also have a record button here because obviously when I'm during the testing phase, I might just want to preview to see where it looks. So for now, let's see on the next screenshot. This will be the preview, and this will be the screenshots it takes in every interval. So that's all we're doing today. In a future tutorial, what I'll do is I will record. I'll send this over the network, and then I'm not sure if I'll record it. So it'll be a live preview over the network. So this is the video watching right now, and just to let you know that for this tutorial, you can use the ojamboshop.com Learning JavaScript Course web IDE, and you can then click the compile button and it will convert it, compile it to you and interpret it. JavaScript is open source. It uses MS Script standard, licensed under W3 software license, which allows commercial use, modification, distribution, and making derivatives proprietary. Just a quick reminder before we begin the coding part that every day I'm going to be doing a live stream on different platforms. So just check ojambo.com for details and instructions. Again, you can scroll the way to the bottom, and then you'll see all the platforms, so you can join me on them. So what I'll do is, starting next week, I will list the days and approximate times that I will be available for the live stream, so that way it will be easier for people to follow me immediately when I go live. But so this Friday, it will be the last time that I do the 8 p.m. Live streams on YouTube at 8 p.m. Eastern. But I didn't want to change that this week just because I already started advertising that one. So that'll be the last one. So that one is going to be about installing Drupal CMS. Okay, so as I said, you can follow along with your ojamboshop.com Learning JavaScript Course web IDE. But in this particular case, I'm going to use NetBeans. So this is NetBeans. It's NetBeans is a integrated development environment. So you can go here, you see file, you can create a new file. I am going to create a folder just for testing here. And I said in the future, I'll move it, but for now, I just want to get started. So what I'll do is I'll go into that folder. I'll show you what I'll do. Just a second. I'll go to the second monitor, and I will go and let's see here. Where's that ZZ or ZZZ folder? Here we go. And video. No, I don't want video. Okay, I think I'll call it record. Okay, so what I'll do is okay, here we go. So what I'll do is I should be in tutorial. I should probably put it here. Okay, so there's already one here. Okay, there's already a file here. So the file is called record video HTML. But I will create one called record photos, take photos. I'll call it take photos. So I'll create a new file. I'll call it take photos HTML. I'll call it take photo. I'll take photos. I'll call it take photos. Okay, take photos. I'll open it up here. And then we don't need that. So it's just a doc type for HTML. Then we have the HTML tags here. Then we have the head section. So our name will be chicken security camera. Okay, that's all we need in the head section. We'll probably style it later, but that's not so important right now. The styling is for this tutorial. So in the body here, I just need a button. type equals button, and this one I'll just say record, and then I'll create a video tag here as well. And then below that I'll just have an empty image. So the image is going to be where this is just for previewing the images, just to make sure that this is going to work. In a future one, those images will be, instead of just being displayed here, they will be sent to the workstation, where I'll be able to view them. But this is, for this tutorial, is just to preview it. And then obviously we can create our script. I don't know why they spelled wrong, but okay. Oops. Okay. So I'm running Apache NetBeans IDE 25. When you download it from the Apache NetBeans site, it will come with everything you have. Like, it's already built in with the HTML, Java, JavaScript, CSS. Oh, I forgot. I should have zoomed in here. I apologize for that, so you can see better. So zoom in. Okay. Now here, what I want to do is I want this JavaScript to run immediately. So I do have tutorials on ojambo.com show you how you can have self-contained functions which run automatically. So this is the short form for function. And then to close it off, so that would be enough. But however, I want to run this again, so I just put that to make it so this function, this will run immediately this page is loaded, when this page is loaded. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll create some variables. So this is an IID. This is for the interval, because I'll need to, if it's no longer recording, I'll need to stop it. I need to stop the recording so that it once it stops. But what happens is when you start an interval, it gives the interval an ID. So you need to be able to capture that ID. So when you stop that interval of the recording, you have something to call back. Okay, then I'll grab the image tag as well, this one on which is line 11. Okay, so we will call that one so document dot query selector image. Then I'll also create one for video. You can use const here if you want, but let is just shoulder to right as well. You can also use var, but that's fine. So vid equals document dot query selector video, and then obviously I want the button here as well, so I can say equals document dot query selector button. The only one I really need to, the only two I really need to create variables for are this one on line 14 and line 16, the IID and the video. The rest I can simply just call them right away to change them. But it's just neither here, because in the future this particular app might be expanded, so I might do some fancy things with it as well. So for example, when we stop recording, I might want this image to be empty, so by having a variable I can target it. Okay, so next what we're going to do then is, I should probably put some, you know what, I'll put some, since this is beginner level, I'll just say variables. So those are the variables, and then here I'll say request camera permissions. Okay, so in order to request the camera permissions in 2025, you put navigator dot media devices dot get user media, and then you can put some variables in here. So I could have put the variables as parameters here, but since they're very basic, I'll just enter them myself here. So the parentheses, and then inside here it will be squiggly bracket. So I'll say video and set that to true because I do want the video. Then comma audio, I don't need audio, that's set to false. Now if you do want to also record the audio, you can change this to true. The reason I'm not I don't need the audio is because, remember, so the camera is going to be inside the house, so although it can pick up stuff from outside, it's kind of a little bit of a distance, so it'll be faint anyway, so that's not needed. All I really need is the video, because that also cut down on the network congestion or anything like that. So all I need is, that's literally all I need. Okay, then I'm going to use a promise. I'll put then, and then change that into a variable called stream, and then again the short way to create a function, squiggly bracket. Oops, what happened there? Are you kidding me? Hey, there we go. Okay. Should stop doing that. Jeez. All right. So and then to close it off, what is wrong with this guy? Okay, that's probably why. Okay, then we can go here and close that one off. Okay. Then inside there we say vid.source object equals stream, and then we also want it to play, so this will allow it to be this will be the preview. So once the permissions are granted, then it will play automatically in the video here. Okay, so next we work on the button. So when the button you see by default it's going to say the word record. So what we'll do is when the record one is taken, it will take a snapshot of whatever is showing in the video. It will put it in a canvas, and then from the canvas we'll grab the source and dump it into the image tag. Okay, So now on line 25, say, now put another comment here and say handle button click. Oh, basically, no, this will be take photo. I should call it take photo. Take photo on button click. So say button dot add event listener. So the event we want is a click. Again, I have tutorials on ojambo.com explaining what all these events do, especially the click one. Why is this comment coming up? That's annoying. Okay, so again, we close it off so you don't forget. Okay, so if you notice, as I said on line 9 here, it says the button has the text record. So what I do is I say if button dot inner HTML. I could probably have put that as a variable equals record. So if it's record, that's obviously the first time this is run. What do I want to do? So I need to set a value for the IID. So say IID equals set interval. Interval is a built-in method in JavaScript. So again, function. I'll use the short form to creating a function. Now close it off as well so I don't forget. Okay, so I'll create a canvas equals document dot create element canvas. Now create a context equals canvas dot get context 2D. It's 2D because a photo is 2D, it's two-dimensional. So then we set the canvas dot width equals vid dot video width. I need to explain this. So because I'm using a webcam on the desktop, that its width is 1280 and the height is 800. So that's fine, but normally on phones you have a higher, much bigger width and height. So you might need to hard code this to what you want, or maybe pick in your settings on the phone, change the camera to a lower width and height. Because as I said before, this is simply just to let me know what's going on. So I don't need a very large image. So height equals vid dot video height. So this is going to come from this video tag up here. But I said if you want to set it to a different one, you can. Context.draw image vid. So then this is the source. Obviously it will be the video, the video element. And then where do we start? So it will be XY. So X will be 0 and Y will be 0. And obviously and the bottom. So we want the bottom. So obviously the canvas width and the canvas height. So this will be basically the top left to the bottom bottom right, to the bottom right. And then we set the image source, which will be equals to the canvas data URL. What's going on? I have the caps locks on. URL and image / PNG. Now this is dependent on the browser. Some browsers, like the Brave browser and I think Chrome, they only do PNG files. So others you can do JPEG or WebP or AVIF, but for this one, PNG files. And I'm okay with PNG files because they'll be fast created because there's very low compression. So that's fine. I said I also don't care about I care about the size. Okay, and finally inside the set interval function. So this is where we set it. So right now I'm going to put 3000, which is 3000 milliseconds or 3 seconds. So that is when it's equal to record. So one more thing I forgot to put up here is not this one here. I forgot to put this. I want to change the inner HTML equals recording. So set it when it's set to when it's equal to record, we set it to recording. And then obviously the next time somebody clicks it, so I can say else, close that else there. So else, we set it to inner HTML, we set it back to its default, which is record. And then we can clear the interval, IID. So this is important. This is why we save the IID in a variable. So this way we are able to access it. And that is the end of our, this is the end of our coding part for this part of it, for this particular live stream or coding. So what you can do is, I believe here is it tools or one of this run. You see in NetBeans you can go, and if you have a project browser, or you can run the, if I set it as a project, you will be able to run in a browser immediately. But I didn't do that, so what I do instead is you can just drag it into your web browser. So for example here, if I just simply take this, you see it's take photos, I can just grab it and see here, I just drag and drop into a web browser. This is testing, and you see the first thing it asked is it's asking for permission to use the camera. Now if I block it, then this application is not going to work. So I'll allow it. You see now it's doing a preview. It's doing a preview, and to prove to you that it does work, I'm going to wave my phone in front there. You see that? It does work. Now, you see this says record. So if I click record, you see it's saying recording. So that part worked. And you see every 3 seconds it's going to take a photo here. Just to prove to you, I'm going to wave my phone here for several seconds and until you see it. 1, 2, 3. You see that? It changed. Now I'm taking the phone away and you see it goes away again. So if I then so that's what I said, I don't need audio. So I'm waving my phone again. And then if I click this record button, you see, then it goes back to the word record. Now it's no longer recording. And also another thing you can do is you can inspect this. You go to the console and you see there's no errors, there's no warnings or anything. So that means that this will work. So so basically what I would do is I'll need some type of a server on my workstation, and then this depending on what I use, if it's PHP, Python, Rust, or Node.js, or Apache, I will be able to have that there, and then when that somebody hits that URL, for example on the phone or the recording device, it will be able to send the photos. Think of it like an upload, and then that I will be able to view it here in another, or I can create a separate page. I'm not sure how I will do it. I might create a separate page. I might create a separate page just to handle the preview. I think that will be better. The preview, so basically you see now the preview comes here, but I'm going to remove this and from this here, and simply just, instead of previewing it here, it will be previewed in a separate page. So there's also WebRTC. So I think what I would, in the future tutorials, I'll go through all of them, and then I'll decide which one works best. Okay, so also I believe both Python and PHP do not come with WebSockets for the WebRTC. So I'll have a workaround for you guys if you don't want to install it, but I think that's the end here. And I'm seeing there've been a few people in chat, but nobody has, sorry, nobody chat. I mean, people watching the video, but nobody's entered the chat, so that's fine. I think I'll stop now. It's been about almost 40 minutes. So that's good enough. I will stop here and we'll continue again tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll most likely be on a different platform, but you simply go to ojambo.com, which I'll explain soon here. So one more time, as I said, there will be a live stream every single day. Today I live streamed on Rumble, and tomorrow I will live stream on Odyssey. No, not Odyssey. Odyssey was yesterday. So tomorrow I'll live stream on BitChute, and I'll put the instructions down here when you scroll to the bottom. So obviously this app is brought to you by ojamboshop.com, Learning JavaScript Course. It's available. You can learn at your own pace 24/7. There are no subscriptions. It's a one-time fee. Visit ojamboshop.com for details. I also have the book version of the course. It's available in paperback and ebook. It's available on Amazon. You search for Edward Ojambo. The links are in the description. Be sure to subscribe for more frequent content. Also smash that like button. If you do enjoy this, consider supporting me by purchasing one of my WordPress plugins or programming online courses or publications on Amazon. You search for Edward Ojambo, or become a donor at ojambo.com donate. You can also donate up here. You see it's in the header. And here are all the references. So this article is ojambo.com/turn-odd-phone-into-security-camera. It's also in the description. So in references here, you see this is the plugin for WordPress, WooCommerce, and these are the Learning JavaScript course on ojamboshop.com. There are also other courses like Python and PHP, and we'll in the future tutorials we'll go through. We'll use these as a web server, and they're also available on Amazon in ebook form. Only for now, the Learning JavaScript is available as a paperback on Amazon. And I also have Ojambo services if you need help with customizing your websites, any platform, or you need some special coding maybe for logistics, shipping, payment processors, chat services, or more, and also custom tutorials. So as I was said before, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you see here in the footer above the copyright, I have channels. So this is Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, and YouTube. So tomorrow it will be in BitChute. So what I'll be doing is I'll just rotate through all of this every single day. Okay, so thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.